In today's video, I will be telling the truth about Omaha. I will be sharing some of the things that any individual will find discouraging and topics that no one is willing to talk about, but some that are very important to know. Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Morales. I am with Realty One Group Authentic and I am a local real estate agent in Omaha, Nebraska. And I love to make content for people like you who are looking to relocate to Omaha. Or maybe you're just simply looking to discover what does this city have to offer. So if you want to know, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And so like I mentioned before, today I will be sharing some of the biggest downfalls about Omaha. And if you want to know what those are, stay tuned. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Starting with number 1, it is crazy weather. Omaha's weather can be pretty wild. And by wild, I mean it's really unpredictable. You can go to bed after a nice sunny day just to wake up to a rainstorm, all within a time lapse of only a couple hours. Winters are also super cold with lots of not only snow, but snowstorms, which are absolutely crazy. Sometimes covering up to your entire car in snow, which will require a lot of shoveling to remove the snow. And if that isn't bad enough, well, shoveling snow, especially when it's literally 0 degrees outside, is absolutely no joke. Oh, and did I mention that anyone hardly goes out of their house during the winter? So yes, expect to spend most of your time inside of your house, probably drinking hot chocolate or watching a movie, or both. Now let's talk about the summers. Summers get really hot and humid. We typically do get those heat waves of about 90 to 100 degrees during the summer. Now you may be thinking, what about the other days when it's about 76 to 80 degrees outside? Well, think about that and just add about 50 to 80% humidity to that. Yeah, not necessarily your ideal summer. And just for the record, let me show you this quick snapshot I took the other day from the weather app on my phone that shows the percentage of humidity in a single day. Yeah, that's pretty humid, I would say. So for all the ladies out there, make sure to have a very good anti-humidity hairspray. Trust me, I had to learn that the hard way. Also, we always have the chance of a tornado or a big storm in Omaha. This year, unfortunately, we did experience some of the worst tornadoes that Nebraska has experienced in a while, leaving a ton of chaos and disaster behind, which can turn into a very scary situation. Oh, and as someone who is not from Nebraska, let me warn you, stay alert for the tornado sirens. Those will make sure to add extra suspense to the weather condition. Like seriously, why did no one tell me about those before I moved here? Now, this brings me to point number 2, old infrastructure. In other words, the roads in Omaha are pretty tough, requiring a lot of repair work. You will most likely find potholes, random bumps, and uneven roads throughout the city. This is typically caused due to the severe weather such as rainstorms and significant snowfall, which causes a lot of damage to the roads in Nebraska. So yes, you will most likely run into a road construction zone several times throughout the year. And if that isn't bad enough, a lot of the times these construction zones will back up traffic, causing lots of traffic congestion. So if you want to be on time, always check your GPS before heading out to stay aware of any construction zones. Point number 3, limited public transportation. Now, if you're moving to Omaha and don't own your own vehicle, you may find yourself in a tough situation. Let's just say that getting around Omaha without a car can be tough, since the public transportation isn't all that great compared to other states. When it comes to transportation, we do have limitations, as we currently only have 2 bus programs, which are the Omaha Metro and our newest addition, the Orbit. So most people in Nebraska tend to drive everywhere, which makes owning a vehicle almost necessary if you live here. But also, who wants to wait at a bus station during the wintertime when it's below 0? Must be tough. And even if you own a car, Omaha is also a very spread out city, so you will most likely end up driving 15 to 20 minutes to get around the city. And that can get annoying and costly if you own a car that uses up gas quickly. Point number 4, Omaha is an isolated city. And talking about how spread out the city is, Omaha is also really isolated. So If you're looking into spending a full day in a theme park or maybe looking for new food locations, you may find yourself driving a couple hours for that. In Nebraska, you don't get your typical 1 to 2 hour drive to bigger cities like in other states. In fact, the nearest big city we have is 3 hours away, which is Kansas City. And other surrounding big cities like Denver, Minneapolis, and Chicago can range from 5 to 7.5 hours of a drive. So overall, if you're a person who likes to explore different cities and you're considering moving to Omaha, expect to drive long distances and spend long hours in a car. Number 5, Omaha has limited fun stuff to do, or at least that's what my friends have said. Compared to other states, there is just not as much to do in Omaha. There is really not a lot that goes on in the city during the night hours, and entertainment options are pretty limited since we don't count with any theme parks. The biggest flex we really have is the Omaha Zoo, that's it. So this can definitely make visitors feel that Omaha can be a little boring. Now, food options in Omaha are also not very large and diverse, especially compared to other states like Texas or California, where you can find lots of more diverse food options, especially when we talk about their delicious street tacos. In other words, Omaha is definitely not for everyone. So if you live in a fast-paced city where there's people everywhere at all times during the day, Omaha will definitely be a change. The main busy times are during the weekends, and during the week you'll hardly find any people out and about, which I guess that means you can visit locations like the Omaha Zoo and not expect too many people during the week, which is not necessarily bad. However, if you work during the week, this might be challenging. In other words, Omaha is a slow-paced city, but hey, at least we got cool local parks, right? Point number 6, sports team. When it comes to sports, Nebraska is mostly about college tournaments. We do count with really good volleyball and baseball teams, so if you like the college level sports, this will be fun to watch. But here's the deal. If you're a big football fan, don't expect to see major football NFL teams in Nebraska. However, residents in Nebraska do take the football season very seriously. The closest professional football team we get is the Nebraska Huskers, the state's college football team. Now, the Huskers have a lot of history and loyal fans, but let's be honest, they had a rough few years and don't exactly dominate the field like they used to. However, Nebraska residents are always supporting bringing in the community's football spirit every season. It's all about the spirit, right? Omaha's trying to step it up with new teams though. We now have the Omaha Supernovas, which is our professional volleyball team. They're brand new and they're already generating some buzz around the city. So if you're a volleyball fan, you're in luck. We also count with the Omaha Union, which is a professional soccer team. I mean, it's pretty cool to see new pro teams starting up here. It gives us something to get excited about. So if you're moving to Nebraska and hoping for a big NFL football game, well, let's just say that that's not exactly what you'll find here. The sports scene here has its moments, but it's definitely more about college sports than anything. And it's not all that bad, but it's definitely not going to replace the excitement of a major league game if that's what you're used to. Now, last but definitely not least, high property taxes. Property taxes here are pretty high, which can really make your wallet cry when monthly mortgage payments come around. One of the biggest issues with property taxes in Nebraska is that property taxes are based off 90 to 100% of the asset's value, where in other states, they might do 65 to 70%. And on top of that, Nebraska ranks top 10 for the highest mill levy in the nation, which in essence, this is a percentage that when multiplied by your home price, it would give you an estimated amount of what your property taxes would be. Now, let's make a quick comparison. If we compare a home per se in Utah for $300,000 with a mill levy of 1.1, which is about the average in Utah, you can expect your property taxes to be about $3,300. Now, if you were to take that same $300,000 home in Nebraska with a mill levy of 2.4, you could expect to pay about $7,200 for property taxes, which is quite a difference. Now, depending on where you live in Omaha, the mill levy does change. But on average, Omaha has a mill levy of 2.4, which is definitely more on the high end. Now, I know you may want to cross Nebraska off your list by now, but in reality, we all know that every state has its ups and downs. In conclusion, from the unstable weather and the little entertainment to the costly property taxes, this is in essence some of the stuff you should be aware of if you are planning on moving to Omaha. And speaking about moving, if after watching this video you still plan on relocating here, or maybe for some reason you just have no choice, I would love to help you find a home here. So don't be afraid to reach out to me to find your home in Omaha, or maybe just to simply chat and talk a little bit about more of what Omaha has to offer, and if this place would be a good fit for you. Oh, and before I go, please subscribe to my channel for more content about living in Omaha. Alright, thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.